Hey, how's it going, guys? Brian Danoff here, and the Yankees made a very interesting trade tonight, acquiring lefty James Paxton from the Seattle Mariners in exchange for their top prospect Justus Sheffield, Erik Swanson, and an outfielder by the name of Dom Thompson-Phillips. Now, the last two guys were really depth pieces in the Yankees minor league system, were never really highly ranked as prospects. Swanson was up there, but neither one of them had a future in New York. And Sheffield, again, not going to pretend that he isn't one of the top prospects in baseball, and for the Yankees was their top prospect. But even still, he never really profiled well as a guy who was going to be here for a long time. And people believe that at his absolute best, he'll be a good number 3 starter, maybe a number 4 starter. And, a move to the bullpen is totally plausible. So I didn't feel like the Yankees gave up much in this trade, especially when you consider who they're getting back. And Paxton really is one of the better left-handed pitchers in all of baseball. And I am very happy the Yankees made this trade overall. I'll get to some of my concerns in a little bit, but I meant to make a video detailing my hopes and expectations for the Yankees offseason, and I guess this is going to be it, because, it's pretty early for a trade like this. Most big moves don't really happen until December. For some reason, it's just no one wants to make any moves at the start of the offseason. I mean, the Red Sox only won the World Series 3 weeks ago. Still hurts to say, but, so it's pretty early in the offseason. But the Yankees clearly are already active and have been talking to a lot of teams and talking to free agents. And them acquiring Paxton, in my opinion, is a great sign, and something I'm very happy about for a couple reasons. First and foremost, their starting rotation is their biggest weakness, and is something and is the thing they need to address most. There's all this drama about Bryce Harper or Manny Machado, and should they sign? Who should they sign? Should they sign both of them? Do they need them? My answer to that is no. They do not need either of them. They are the cherry on top of the cherry on top, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not saying the Yankees shouldn't get them, and I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome either of them or both of them to the Yankees. But what I'm saying is they need to address their starting rotation. That is, if they're going to win next year, it's not going to be because they added Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. It's going to be because they added 1 or 2 or 3 really rock-solid, reliable starters. Because if you look back in this postseason, again, I said it in my last video when I was talking about the Yankees lost to the Red Sox in the ALDS, the Yankees were hoping for 3 or 4 solid innings out of Luis Severino and CC Sabathia, and Tanaka gave them some depth, but Severino, CC, and Tanaka is not a good front 3. It's just not. Paxton, Severino, Tanaka is a much better front 3, and in my opinion, or at least my hopes, the Yankees hopefully add another starter who can be towards that front of the rotation, because I still don't know if I trust Severino in a huge game, or Tanaka. He's hit or miss at certain points throughout the season. So, the Yankees coming into this offseason, in my opinion, I don't really care too much right now about Harper or Machado. And it seems like the Yankees kind of feel the same way. This isn't to say that, they could very well sign Machado in the next couple weeks and that's it, or Harper. But, I think they understand that their priority should be pitching, and it seems like it is. And that's great, because, again, if the Yankees don't add Harper or Machado, but they do add, in addition to Paxton, another starter or two who are reliable and trustworthy and power arms, the Yankees would still be one of my favorites in the American League, if not the favorite, because their lineup as it is still great. It's going to be the same lineup they had last year, which hit the most home runs in a season in Major League Baseball history. And you hope Stanton has a bounce back year. You hope Judge is healthy. You hope Gary Sanchez has a bounce back year. They still won 100 games with Gary Sanchez hitting under 200 and Judge playing half the year. And Stanton, I'm not saying he was bad, but we all know he had half the season he had in 2017. So if he can play near that MVP level again, with Sanchez bouncing back and with Judge being healthy, you're already looking at a better lineup than last year. And last year's lineup was no slouch, So, so overall, not to make this too much about the lineup, but they need pitching, and they got pitching tonight. And again, Paxton has been one of the better lefties in the game over the last few seasons. Through a perfect game in Toronto, I believe. If it wasn't a perfect game, it was a no-hitter. Maybe I'm misremembering. It was one of the two. It was one of the two. If it was a perfect game, it was also a no-hitter, but if it was no-hitter, then it wasn't a perfect game. Baseball nerd. Anyway, but yeah, he has a really solid fastball. His mechanics, he throws an easy 96, 97, just rears back there and just, fires it in, and it looks so effortless. He has a few really good off-speed pitches, and he's a crafty lefty, but he still has that power fastball that will really help him rack up some strikeouts and keep the ball down and keep hitters off balance. And my main issue, and it's not insignificant, is that he has missed a decent amount of his career, in a sense. He made his debut, I think, in 2012 or 2013. And, I think since then he's only thrown maybe 500 innings in his career. Something along those lines. Definitely less than 600, right between 500 and 600, because he's been injured. He made 12 starts one year, 17 starts another year. Last year he made 28 starts. That was the most starts he's ever made in his career. And he was good. He was really good. But again, he's had some trouble staying on the field, and that's a concern to me. It should be a concern to every Yankees fan, because pitchers, we've seen it time and time again. Pitchers, have been very injury prone recently, and you never know with a guy like that, and you want to see him make 32, 33 starts, and you want to see him throw 200 innings. And so far, Paxton has not done that in his career. So you hope, and if the worst case scenario he does get hurt, you hope it's not serious. And the idea behind that, I guess, is that even if he does get hurt, but it isn't too serious, hopefully the 120, 130 innings he does provide for the Yankees are so good and so quality, I guess, that it's worth it. The injury risk is worth it. But that's something that worries me. And it feels like the Yankees, every time they acquire a pitcher, they just can't come with a clean bill of health. The Astros will acquire Garrett Cole, and they'll acquire Justin Verlander, and the Red Sox will get Chris Sale. And I believe Sale is going to break down eventually. All these guys, they're not health concerns at all. Sale was, I guess, at the end of last year, but you get my point. The Yankees always seem to acquire a guy who, if everything goes right, he'll be healthy and he'll throw 200 innings. But realistically, he's going to get hurt and he'll only throw 140, 150. And that's the same outlook for CeCe. That's the same outlook for Tanaka. And Severino, after throwing 200 innings back-to-back seasons, for the first time in his career, obviously, he's still so young. You don't know he's going to hold up. So the health of Paxton and the whole Yankees rotation is still a concern to me. And again, I think they shouldn't stand pat. They shouldn't think that this is enough, because it still isn't. I still don't think Paxton, Tanaka, Severino, any combination of those three guys matches up equally with the Astros or the Red Sox. With Sale and Price and Porcello. I just don't. I don't trust that front three. CeCe Sabathia, of course, is back for another season. I hope he doesn't start another playoff game for the Yankees. Really, if everyone's healthy, he shouldn't sniff the postseason rotation, if even the postseason roster. And obviously, that's probably not going to happen. He'll probably make the postseason roster, but he shouldn't be starting for the Yankees anymore in the postseason. Again, I keep thinking back to the fact that he started back-to-back elimination games in back-to-back seasons, and didn't get crushed, but didn't get the job done and lost. And that's frustrating. The Yankees need to do better than starting 39-year-old CC Sabathia in an elimination game. Obviously, acquiring Paxton is a good step towards doing that. And, you know, they'll have more options in the postseason if everyone's healthy. Maybe they re-sign J-Happ. Maybe they go after Charlie Morton. I don't really want Dallas Keuchel. He sounds like a guy. Seems like a guy who's going to struggle in New York. I just think generally his best days are behind him. I don't know if they have the prospects left to swing a trade for Corey Kluber, but I hope the Yankees are going to keep trying, because acquiring him would really be, I mean, that would be the move that would put the Yankees over the top. I don't think it's Bryce Harper or Manny Machado. They don't need them to win. They need good starting pitching, and they have another good starting pitcher now. Hopefully they get some more. So I feel like I was very repetitive in this video. I apologize. It's been a long couple weeks. It's been a long semester. About to go home for Thanksgiving break, so that should be nice. Hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you know, James Paxton is a nice little pre-Black Friday steal for you, if that makes sense. But yeah, overall, I do like the trade. I'm excited to see Paxton in New York, and I'm excited to see the rest of the Yankees offseason play out, because it should be interesting. I hope they continue to prioritize pitching. I do think they will. And I guess, you know, if they sign Machado or Harper, great. I won't say no. I won't be unhappy about it. But I do definitely think that, you know, they don't need those guys. They just don't. They need pitching. Their lineup is great already. And, you know, if they add another pitcher and then they sign a reliever, whether that's D-Rob or Andrew Miller or Adam Ottavino, you know, they'll be in really good shape. They'll be in as good a shape as you can hope to be going into 2019, Didi's injury aside. So thanks for watching, guys. Go Yankees, and I'll see you guys in the next video.